welcome to episode 24 of Rational Romantics. We are so excited to share the conversation that we had with Jenny Rhodes McLean, who is the hair and makeup designer for the Buccaneers. She worked on Bridgerton. She's got incredible stories and just the most amazing details to share with us about these incredible shows. So we cannot wait to dive into that with you. So make sure that you stick around for that conversation. We also have some pop culture updates, some Bridgerton things to discuss. So Deb, let's dig into that first.
Yeah, let's dive in. But before that, we need to dive into a personal update. Because Cass, you just came back from an amazing trip. Tell us all about Iceland. I am so jealous, and welcome back, but I'm sure it must be a hard transition to come from Iceland to back here, regular old North America. So tell us all about it.
Well, it was absolutely phenomenal. It was such a great trip. I got to go with some people from way back that I've known since my Outlander days online, like Cheryl and Lauren, who planned the trip. They were some of my first guests on my lives. So I finally got to meet them in person. That was lovely. So that was just amazing to have this community and in this beautiful place. I was just so blessed to get to go. And guys, I'm in no way getting paid for an endorsement. Go to Iceland. It's so beautiful. Holy cow.
That's so amazing. What is the one thing that surprised you the most when you were there?
Oh, that surprised me the most. How otherworldly it is. I feel like everybody says that goes. It feels like another planet. And I mean, they film a bunch of Game of Thrones there, which makes total sense. But I truly felt like I could just look over and there could just be a dragon. I was like, Fourth Wing has to film here. This is just crazy. I mean, it just feels so, it's wild. And, I got to walk on or hike on a glacier. I put crampons on and did the whole thing and hung over a crevasse. It was so wild. And I feel like that was such a big takeaway of do the thing, go on the adventure, because I mean, not to be macabre with it, but tomorrow isn't guaranteed and you never know if you're going to get this chance again. And so, doing it as, I mean, it was solo travel for me. I went by myself over there, and people I had never met in person before. It was amazing. I loved everyone. The experiences were incredible. So just, if you're sitting on the fence, consider this your sign, book the tickets, do the thing, because it's always the right choice. It was just amazing.
I love that so much. It's true. You just got to pull the trigger sometimes and just dive into it. And yeah, I'm so glad that you had an amazing time. All the stuff that you were posting, I was like, oh gosh, this looks like a dream. And I've always heard that, that it looks like you're on a different planet entirely. So that's, gosh, it must be incredible, and what an experience. So I'm so glad that you had that.
Thank you. Me too. It was so fun. And yeah, it was, I mean, so many waterfalls, so much natural beauty. We got to see whales off of a black sand beach. We got to see a harbor seal and puffins, and it was just, all the boxes got checked. It was just great. Well, we have plenty of exciting Bridgerton news to dive into, but I feel like first thing we have to discuss is Bridgerton was nominated for 5 Emmys. So congratulations to the cast and crew, because it's so well deserved.
That is so exciting. Credit where credit is due. Honestly, they absolutely deserve these nominations for things that often go unrecognized, things that are the costumes, the hair and makeup, all these things are so important, and they make the world that we love. So I love that they got nominated for their hard work, honestly. And I know that a lot of people were hoping and really pushing for the actors to be nominated. That wasn't the case, but the hard work that's being put into it is being recognized in different ways. And it's a team effort, right? So it's a really big accomplishment for everybody who has a hand at Bridgerton and season 3 in particular.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's been something, I mean, obviously we've always been very appreciative and noticed the details of, the costuming and the makeup and everything. But I feel like that's been something that I'm gaining a new appreciation for the more we talk to those behind the scenes people, like talking to Erica, talking to Jenny. Like, I feel like I've learned so much, and I see constantly how much effort and focus and work is put into those kind of behind the scenes aspects. And so I'm so glad that they're being recognized for all of that hard work, because it's insane. They put in so much time and thought and effort. So congratulations to everybody who was nominated. I mean, choreography, Julie Andrews was nominated for voiceover. I'm thrilled. So
It's great news. It's great news. We can't wait to cheer them on at the Emmys this fall. So yeah, it's definitely really exciting to see, the celebration of season 3 come to such a great kind of finale, I guess you could say.
yeah, absolutely. Well, and we're headed, I mean, kind of finale wrap up of season 3. We're headed into season 4, and promotion looks like it's hopefully going to be starting soon. And what's crazy too is that production of season 5 looks like it's slated for 2026, 2027, with Jess Brownell as the showrunner. That was in like one of the production magazines. So that's exciting news that they've even have that on the books at all.
I mean, that's so exciting. It's such good news that Jess Brownell is going to be part of that production team and all the little pieces that are coming together for season 5. And honestly, to me, it just kind of feels even more like it's going to be Francesca's story, just because I know that Jess she had such a hand, obviously, in having Michaela come to be, and it just feels like she wants to tell that story. So I don't know. It kind of gives me like the vibe that it is going to be Francesca's story, season 5. So I know it's just like a minor detail that Jess is doing it. Doesn't mean a lot, but if you know, you know. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. I totally feel the same way. And it just feels so right. And, she's a queer woman herself, that she gets to see that story to fruition. Because, I mean, we only got Chris for 2 seasons, and he was amazing. We have Jess, hopefully, for 3 or more. So just, I would love to see her carry that story through. So can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Lots of good news. But speaking of news, we've got maybe not as much as of the good news that we were hoping for on the flip side with a potential prequel. Adjo Ando confirms pretty bluntly that there is no Queen Charlotte season 2. Like, it was a standalone. It is not happening again. She made that very, very clear. And I don't know how I feel about it. I know that it doesn't close doors completely, but it just feels interesting on the heels of that other interview where there's like 4 edits where she kind of seemingly did confirm it, but then it was like, I don't know. It just seems a little messy, so I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, very messy, for sure. And I don't know, it's so hard because obviously so much of what we do is the speculation piece, and we're trying to fill in the blanks of being like, okay, well, what happened and whatever. And it's hard because sometimes people aren't telling the truth. And so it's kind of a weird thing, and like doors seemingly get slammed only to be opened, and it's just odd. And so I think I would have been surprised by a technical Queen Charlotte season 2 no matter what, because that it did seem like it was going to be done, and even if there was going to be another prequel that picked up directly after within that universe, it would probably be called something else. At least that was kind of our guess. So I don't necessarily feel like the prequel got shut down, but the like calling it Queen Charlotte season 2, getting the door slammed, feels not the worst, because it's like, okay, well, we were kind of expecting it to not be that anyway. So maybe I'm being overly optimistic, and I just believe that there's going to be a prequel. It just feels like another one's coming. So fingers crossed, and I'm going to stick with that optimism no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way too, because like there's never really been talk about season 2 of Queen Charlotte. There's been talk of like what they would like to see as another prequel. I know that like Julia Quinn, Shonda Rhimes, have chimed in on what kind of prequel they would like to see, and it's never been, oh, season 2 of Queen Charlotte. It's been like, oh, I'd love to see Portia Featherington, Violet Bridgerton, so it never really seemed like it was on the tables. It's almost like if this quote from Adjoa Ando is really just in response to the weird back and forth from that Deadline article, and they're just like, it's not happening, so let's just drop it. But I do think that a prequel is absolutely in the works. It's just a different storyline.
Moving to another adaptation that is super exciting. We got 2 massive updates in the Jane Austen world, where cast lists for both the Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice adaptations were dropped. And they are massive and insane, and my mind is blown. So how are you feeling about our new Austen adaptations?
Honestly, so exciting. I know that some people kind of see it as like, oh, not another one. The other ones are perfect, but like, there always needs to be a new favorite. Like, you always have to have a piece of like the story retold and become a new favorite for another generation. Like, it's fine. Like, let's just we're being creative here, and I just love I love the cast. It looks amazing. We got that first photo too of the Pride and Prejudice, and like it looks perfection, honestly.
Yeah. Well, and I think they're going to bring such a fresh, unique vibe. Like, I absolutely love Emma Corrin. Jack Loudon as Darcy. I'm here for a ginger Darcy. Like, let's go with this. I'm fascinated and cannot wait for Louis Partridge's Wickham. Like, I think he's going to have a different take. I think he's going to be delicious. I'm ready to root for the villain a little bit. Like, let's go. So I'm jazzed with the Pride and Prejudice cast.
Totally. I'd love to see, mixing it up, giving us a different perspective on these characters that we know so well. Like, yeah, let's see what they bring to the table. And yeah, it's a massive cast. Like, I can see no wrong. Like, it's going to be incredible. And yeah, I can't wait to see it all come to life.
Yeah. And I'm here for a hot Mr. Bennett. I love Rufus Sewell.
Oh
Love
my
him.
God.
Have loved
I
him
know.
forever. Loved him since he was the villain in A Knight's Tale. Let's go.
So good. He always plays a villain, I feel like. But yeah, I love him. He has my heart from The Holiday, but also, yeah, Knight's Tale. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Well, and gotta shout out our girl Katrina from Outlander, who's gonna be Mrs. Dashwood in Sense and Sensibility.
That's crazy. I am obsessed with that, actually. Like, she kills everything. She is so good in everything. But like, yeah, I can't wait. Like, keep her in period dramas. Makes my heart happy. So super excited about it.
Well, and it's a perfect transition because her iconic role of Claire Fraser which I'm going to cry, is going to be coming to an end. Oh my God, I'm actually going to cry. I kind of said that like I was kidding. I'm actually not. Who, is coming to an end in the final season of Outlander, is airing early 2026. And I'm going to take a drink of water. Okay.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Cass.
I was not
That's making me
ready.
all emotional. Why? But I mean, it's the end of an era.
Yeah.
Like, it's a huge, huge, huge chapter that's ending. And honestly, sooner than I thought. I didn't think it was going to be early 2026. Like, there's a huge, huge amount of emotions in this final season of Outlander, and it's going to be a lot. Oh, I wish I could give you a hug.
Yeah. Well, I truly, like, I'm not emotionally ready to say goodbye to Outlander, and I don't think I'm going to be, especially because it's coming out in early 2026, which we're also going to get Bridgerton at that point. And I'm like, I'm going to be so caught up in the Bridgerton world because, like, I mean, obviously so much of what we do is that, and I'm so excited. But
Mm-hmm.
it takes up so much of my headspace that I feel like, which is nice because Outlander comes out weekly, and so it's gonna be 10 weeks that I have of this
Right.
show,
Right.
but I'm not gonna have the time to get myself emotionally ready to exist in a world without this show, because yeah, it's gonna be an adjustment.
It is going to be an adjustment for sure. You know, we're always looking forward to the next, right? And luckily, you know, we have Blood on My Blood that's looking incredible, and you know, we will have that to kind of ease the pain, but it's still it's going to be hard to say goodbye, you know. Um, it's years, at least 10 years of
Yeah.
Outlander, at
Yeah.
least. And like Outlander got me through some stuff. So yeah, a lot of people have an emotional attachment to the feeling they have when they rewatch. I've rewatched that show so many times, and just because I wanted to, just because it brings me a sense of joy and escapism. So luckily we have that even after the show has its last episode to air, but still it's hard to say goodbye. So we'll be reporting on it. We'll be breaking it down. We should watch it together. We should
Oh,
definitely
we definitely
watch it
should.
together.
Yeah.
But
Well, and
yeah.
it's so I feel so optimistic with Blood of My Blood. I mean, clearly Stars has so much faith in it. I mean, they're renewed for a season 2 before season 1 has even started airing. They're
Yeah.
already back filming it. Like, they clearly have just so much faith in it. From all the reviews that I've seen, it's very like for the fans, but you don't have to have seen Outlander to love it. It's very romantic. People said that it's lighter than Outlander, which is nice. I like a
Hmm.
world that's a little less heavy because Outlander gets awful heavy at times. So I appreciate maybe them pulling off the gas just a little on that.
Hmm.
So I think it's gonna be a really perfect show. I'm just so excited.
I'm so excited. It's next week.
It's next week.
It's next week.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah, I'm shook. It, and it's going to be a double premiere. They're going to premiere the first 2 episodes on the 8th. So it's movie night. It's going to be amazing.
This movie night, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's gonna be amazing. I have loved, they've been promoting this so well, so thoroughly. They are feeding fans like so well. Which is really refreshing. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's a new show. They really need to get out there and need to get some face time there. Um, but yeah, I just love how personable the cast is, how open they are, and all the chats. It's just so they're doing it so well. Like from a promotional standpoint, I'm just like, yes, you guys are crushing it, and I'm excited. I'm excited to break it down with you. It's gonna be so good.
Yes, we can't wait. And yes, Guys, if you want to start with, whether you're Outlander fans or not, if you want to dive in with Blood of My Blood, we're definitely going to be talking about it. So be watching, be listening to the pod, and come love the Outlander universe with us because we adore it.
So it's time now to jump into our interview with Jenny Rhodes McLean. She's just a gem. I loved speaking with her. I love that she was like on set. She looked like she was like in a changing room, like a makeup station. I was like, you are working on something. And she's a fan. And I feel like that's what's so cool about everybody that we've spoken to so far. They're a fan of the shows and the work that they're doing, and I think that was my favorite part. But yeah, it's time to dive in, and yeah, we'll see you on the other side.
Well, guys, Jenny Rhodes McLean is an award-winning hair and makeup designer who has worked on some of our absolute favorite shows. Bridgerton, for which she won a Creative Arts Emmy for Outstanding Period and/or Character Hairstyling, The Great, and most recently, The Buccaneers. Jenny, thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We're so excited to chat just all of these things with you. You're so talented and just create such an amazing aesthetic. So we're super excited.
Oh, thank you. I'm really excited to jump on and chat. So this is great.
Great. Well, we'll take it all the way back. How did you get started doing like hair and makeup design?
Oh, wow. I mean, do you know what? I think it probably goes right back to my childhood. It was a really creative, fun, messy childhood. My mum was a photographer, and I remember being obsessed with lighting and silhouettes and just people's images. And I left school really early. I left school at 16, and I think I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I was creative and I wasn't very academic. But then I think I just I dove into lots of different jobs, explored what I wanted to do. And then my mum actually wrote this child's play, and she took it to Edinburgh Fringe Festival. And she said, help me sketch the characters and help me think about what they're going to look like. And I hadn't even thought that makeup for film and TV was even a job. It had not occurred to me that people were behind the looks of all these characters. And it kind of just went from there. I kind of did this. I mean, it was almost like face painting. It was so crude. But, it was so basic. We kind of had these stick-on beards that were, cost like £10. And but I think it really got my brain kind of thinking into, this is actually a career. This is actually something that people do. And then I went and worked in the opera. And then from there, I did a course and then just did lots of film and TV and worked my way up the ranks.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's amazing. That's so, I love that you're an artist, right? So like a blank canvas is just so much fun to work with. So that sounds like such the right path for your kind of creativity.
Yeah, it was really fun. And it definitely all kind of stemmed from home. I was always such a people watcher. I kind of used to, just be creative in my mind and think what different people did. And it's all about creating those characters and adding to that aesthetic. But yeah.
So what we'd love to talk about next is Bridgerton, which you've worked on. So can you tell us a little bit about that? What's it like working on that set? And yeah, just a little bit about that.
Do you know when I first joined Bridgerton, the first season hadn't even come out yet. So I didn't really, and we weren't allowed to watch it either. So I didn't know what Bridgerton was going to become. I knew the books, kind of, I'd read one. But I didn't really kind of understand the crazy phenomenon it was going to be. And I mean, it was exciting. As soon as the first season had come out, which I didn't work on, I only worked on 2, but as soon as it did, the buzz around it was just insane. It was, something that I hadn't ever thought kind of would be in that kind of period drama world. But it's such a family. I think that's probably the takeaway from Bridgerton more than anything, is that they are just like a family, and the love for one another and the cast is just so beautiful. And it's fun. It's really a really fun energy. I don't know. I've been watching some clips on my just on TikTok at the moment with Johnny in Jurassic, and the way that he's so playful in all of his interviews, like that is him. He's just like a Labrador puppy, and he's so fun. And when all of the families are together, it's a fun energy. And the sets are really gorgeous. I mean, it's probably one of the most set-based period dramas I've worked on, and the sets are, incredible. They're so vast and, huge and just so intricate. So that's kind of a uniqueness, I think, to Bridgerton. And the Queen's wigs, obviously, which are insane. So yeah. It's a fun time. It's a fun job, and it's an amazing world to be a part of. And also, I'm a huge Grey's Anatomy fan. I think that and I spiraled. Like when I first saw that it was Shondaland, I was like, my dreams were made. So that was huge for me.
That's incredible. Oh, I love that story.
So good. And well, such an amazing ensemble cast. I mean, Johnny, the Queen, everybody's so great. Did you have a specific character that was like your favorite to style for, or like a specific look or something that really stands out as like, oh, that was a favorite?
I mean, I love Penelope. I love Nicola. I mean, I love all of them, but I have a soft spot for Nicola, and I also have a soft spot for Luke Thompson. I love them both so much. And Eloise, I think she's another kind of favorite character. Yeah. No, I'm excited to see the new season and to see where it goes. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. I'm sure we all feel the same way.
Yeah.
Yes, we're all very excited to see how this all pans out. So.
Yeah.
Diving into another amazing period drama that we love, especially right now, is The Buccaneers. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what drew you to work on the show?
Yeah.
How has it been?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me about The Buccaneers was when I read the script, I was literally like, there's nothing, there's no slow burn in season 2. It is fast and furious, and it changes at such a rapid pace, and the evolution of all of the characters is just so incredible. And I think that was really exciting to me from a design perspective, because we get to go on that journey with them and show so many different looks to so many different characters. Like, it's absolutely incredible how many of the characters have an evolution this year. So I think just when I read the scripts, that was just so exciting for me to try and be a part of. Yeah.
No kidding.
Sure.
I mean, especially episode 3. Like, I'm still thinking of episode 3. Like, the Midsummer Night's Dream ball. Oh my gosh, looked amazing.
Yeah, it's really fun. And I think every episode, there was almost something that was so visually engaging for me. The first episode, you had Nan's red dress, and the black and white ball, and it just needed to be thought-provoking, and it just needed a conversation around it, which it did. I think it did on screen, and also on screen as well. I saw the comments, and I was almost kind of happy that it had this kind of controversial buzz about it. I didn't want everybody to like it. I kind of wanted the audience to kind of mirror the same feelings that people would at the ball. I just wanted it to be shocking and not predictable, and just spark that conversation. I think, love it or hate it, I kind of wanted some feelings around it, and it just needed to feel almost uncomfortable. So that was kind of that. There was that in episode 1, and then I actually had to think what happens in episode 2. What happens in episode 2?
It's like a slow build up to episode 3. It's very, it's setting the pace for episode 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was the tour, the honeymoon tour, and yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
just some evolution in those looks, and I feel like you're just kind of starting to build up to. Oh, and there was a lot of Hector and Lizzie, yeah, and then so three is then our fairy ball, and that was just such a creative gift. I think when you do these balls for these period dramas, they normally kind of are a moment within an episode. So what was really incredible about the fairy ball was that it was an entire episode, and we got to see it in different lighting. Like you saw it in daylight, you saw it in evening, and then you saw it in that beautiful. I don't know if you remember, like at the end with Lizzie and Nan, there was this kind of like blue sunrise where there was this kind of like morning hues, and it was just so stunning to be able to see it in so many different lights. And that was really exciting. And we actually filmed that last scene with Nan and Lizzie in a real kind of sunrise that wasn't superimposed or anything. It was literally the sun was coming up, and it was right at the end of our night shoot, and it was like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning or something. And it was really special. You could just see these intense colors of the sunrise, and it was stunning.
Beautiful.
It really
But I
is.
could talk about that ball all day, really.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole season, like you're talking about, the vibrancy and the creative decisions and everything, like obviously the first season was stunning. I absolutely loved it, but like it feels like it got ratcheted up to like 11 in season 2.
Yeah.
So like what was the kind of creative thought process behind, like did you have a specific thing that inspired you? Was it a vibe?
Yeah.
Like what brought us into this visual language for season 2?
Yeah. I mean, I loved the rawness of season 1. And just for the record, for anybody watching, I didn't design season 1. But I did love the rawness to it, and it was kind of untamed in a way that kind of showed, the girls felt very kind of childlike and free, and it was very whimsical, and it actually just gave us a lot to play with and a lot of evolution in their looks for them to grow up, which is so important with all of their storylines this year. So it really was a great foundation to be able to build upon. But one of the things that I think I really wanted to show within the looks this season is I wanted everything to be a bit more vibrant. I wanted the skin to glow a little bit more. I wanted, some blush cheeks. And I think that all just comes with the maturity of their looks and even their clothes. I think that everything just popped a little bit more. And I knew that we were going to Croatia. And so when we went to Croatia to film the Italy scenes, I knew that everything was just going to have that warmth about it. And, I knew that there was going to be stunningly colored buildings and we were going to see the sea. And I didn't want all of the other episodes to kind of fall flat around that. So I think it was quite important that we dove into the first couple of episodes already kind of packing a punch, making sure that the makeup was glowing, making sure that everything was beautiful and that there was color where we could, put color. So I think there was definitely, I can't even think of my words, I'm so sorry. It was definitely a conscious thing to kind of put a bit more life and vitality into the looks. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it shows up beautifully. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like every frame could be like a portrait in like a museum. Like everything is the cinematography and everything within the shot is so beautiful.
And there was such an incredible crew. Kate Karen, our costume designer, we're really good friends, and we had such great conversations around how we were going to plot these stories and plot these looks. And the same with the directors and the DOPs. It was really like consciously thought out how we could make it as beautiful as we could. So, no.
I love it. It's amazing. Well, I know we've talked a lot about the ladies of the show, but we also need to speak about the gentlemen in this series.
Yeah.
We've got the love triangles. We've got two very different guys for our Nan. So how do you style the men differently? What inspires their looks? Like, how do you go about that?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest, if I start with Guy and Matt Broom, I think my biggest thing with him is that I wanted, when we found him in Italy after the time jump, I wanted to make sure that he felt more mature, just in the way that he's taken on, a new baby. He's really had to grow up in a very short space of time. And he's really had to kind of like pull through for Ginny. And I think that I just wanted to make sure that there was this maturity and grounding to him. And I think that really shows when Nan shows up. I think it's not necessarily the way we think it's going to go down. He feels like he's got a really mature head on his shoulders, and I kind of wanted that to come across in how he looks. I wanted him to feel like he's been through it, that he's had sleepless nights with a baby, that he's not thinking about himself, so he's not groomed the way that he normally would be. He's kind of getting less sleep, he's caring for others, and shaving is the last thing on his mind. I mean, I can testify to being a new parent, and I know that my looks literally did not come into the picture for years and years later. So, yeah. So that was kind of like the main drive behind Guy's look. I just wanted him to feel a bit like a nomad, like he's kind of like not roughing it, but it's definitely a completely different like it's definitely a culture change to what he's used to, and he's being a lot more physical. You can see him fishing and stuff like that, and yeah, so that was kind of the idea behind that. So in terms of Theo, we obviously go from kind of Prince Charming to kind of rock star, spiraling rock star. Mm-hmm. It was really fun to play with, and I know that Guy Remmer's just had such a great time with that storyline, with the dance, just that whole kind of evolution of Theo. I mean, what a gift, those lines and everything, just to play and mix up a character in that way. I think it's just so cool. But we did do a couple of things that, I hope weren't too obvious, but really kind of influenced a change in style for him. He has more stubble from episode 3 forward. And sorry, not episode 3, episode 4 forward. And we dyed his hair like one tone darker, and his eyelashes and his eyebrows, just to make him feel more intense. And it's so subtle, but it just deepens and just intensifies his eyes. Like, it kind of really made them pop, made his brows feel kind of a lot more broody. And we grew his hair a little bit and just gave it a lot more texture. So yeah, and it was kind of difficult because there was a point where we kind of go flip back and forward between the schedule and different looks, and we was like, okay, don't need to dye it, do need to dye it, needs to be long, needs to be short. But I think we ended up pulling it off, and it worked. But yeah, I definitely I think visually you can see a difference in him, and I think it really helped tell that story. So hopefully people liked it.
Yeah, I feel like that's so cool. Like it just blended so perfectly in like the shift in his character arc that, just it's little things, but they go a long way. So
yeah, the tiny
that's really
details
cool.
really do matter. And I think with the stubble, it kind of just chisels the jawline in this like certain way. We did like the smallest little contour, but it just kind of really worked for him. So yeah, it was really fun. He also has these stick-on sideburns, and during the dance, we did the dance like quite a few times, and during that dance scene, he actually lost one, and we couldn't find it anywhere. It's still in Tintagel Castle somewhere. Like, I have no idea where, but it got lost. We had to keep rewinding the tape to see if we could see that it had come off. But we had a spare, so that was fine. But it's probably on the bottom of someone's shoe or something. But maybe we'll find it next season. I don't know.
That's amazing. Yeah. I also am obsessed with the detail of his hair being a little bit darker, because immediately as soon as he came on screen in episode 4, I was like, is his hair like, I felt like I was gaslighting myself, and so knowing that that's like true, oh my gosh, because my mom's a hairdresser and she would have been furious at me for not noticing that. And so, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to know that. That's so fabulous.
Yeah, we did hair and eyelashes and eyebrows. I mean, it was literally one tone darker.
Yeah.
But I think it does quite a lot on screen, so
it really does.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of characters that have evolved, favorites of mine, Honoria and Mabel, they're going through a lot of changes and transitions and everything. So, kind of what was the thought process behind their evolution?
Yeah, definitely. I love Honoria and Mabel. They're just so good, and you know, they're just funny, and it's just such a beautiful, queer, joyous storyline this season. There's part of me that's glad that it's so beautiful and romantic and happy, because it's, you know, sometimes queer storylines can kind of go a bit dark and be a bit controversial, but I kind of love that they're just sitting in this joy right now. Obviously I won't give too much away or kind of speak to like more episodes, but you know, they're happy. But yeah, it was really fun. I think the biggest thing that I wanted to come across for both of them was that joy, and was that they were in love and joyous and just happy in their moments together. I think Mabel, I wanted her to feel more grown up and confident, because I felt like her hair was quite heavy last season. She was kind of hiding behind those bangs a little bit. And I think it was nice to kind of really see her face have smaller shapes. And just, I think she just comes across more confident and more happy. And that was really kind of the main kind of drive with Mabel's looks. Honoria, I think we see her start to kind of come out of her shell a bit more. You know, she was always the British kind of more traditional family, uptight, more kind of society based. And I think we see her start to loosen very, very slowly into having a bit more of a Buccaneers styling, which was really fun. And I loved her fairy ball look. I mean, it was just so Midsummer's Night's Dream. And the Michelle Pfeiffer was like a really kind of big reference to how I wanted her to look. And she just suits her hair. And she just looked incredible. I just thought she looked incredible. Just so beautiful. So, and it was really nice because I feel like she's definitely come into her own. And there were some really beautiful moments with her brother. And I just think that the fact that she had the biggest wings out of them all was just kind of so wonderful. It was like she was really kind of like stepping into her own and spreading her wings. And we do see some more confidence come from Honoria as we kind of get through the show.
Speaking of confidence, we need to also talk about Conchita, because she is just in her businesswoman era. She's like a wife, a mother, and she's just so strong this season, and you know, set in her role. And yeah, I find that her look is just always evolving, but like in the most confident way possible. So what's the inspiration behind her look this season?
Yeah, Alicia's just such an incredible actor. I'm just blown away with her look every single scene. I think she has these incredible lines and some incredible story arc of her kind of like really taking charge of the family money, and really kind of, she's like the savior. She's coming in and she's kind of sorting everything out. She's really taken that on. And it was, I think, also it's nice to see her mind kind of thinking outside the box and thinking, gosh, how can I fix this? How can I do this? And I think she's grown up in she was kind of this party girl in season 1. And now she's kind of like a mother, and she's really feeling a lot more controlled. And so I wanted to kind of show that in her look and see a more controlled but still fun. Like, she's still a bit spicy. Like, you didn't want to completely remove that. So I think even when we did these updos, we made sure I really wanted to embrace her curls a bit more this season. She had quite straight hair last season, and I think one of the ways that I wanted to make it still fun and make it still feel like her was just bring some life back into her curls, play with those. but also do these great updos and keep them quite elaborate and flamboyant. She's kind of like an influencer of today, and I think especially when she like loses her money, that she knows that she's broke, I think it became almost more important for her styling to be richer. I think she almost like the way that you would just wear everything that you have that says that you've still got it and you're still here. I think she was almost making more of a statement to society to say, I'm still somebody of influence, somebody you want to follow, somebody you want to be. So I think there was a kind of drive there to even push it further than Conchita would maybe normally. I think it was almost like she was peacocking, like she was saying, look at me, follow me, I'm an influencer, you want to be me, kind of, I've got your business, I've got you sorted, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Gosh, I love her so much.
Yeah. That's such amazing. A compelling like character. Yeah.
One of my favorite looks on her is actually from the black and white ball, and you see it for like literally a nanosecond. But she's got this gorgeous kind of like veil over her face. It's very kind of matte ball, and I love it so much. I feel like I need to share some more pictures of it online because it was so stunning that you literally saw it in like 2 seconds. But it was great.
It was 2 seconds, but like it was my favorite line of that entire episode. Like she's changing the conversation, something along those lines, and I was like, oh, that speaks volumes. So love it.
That kind of like dramatic costuming and stuff too. There's one point where we see like Nan and Lizzie, and like Nan's in the all black dress and Lizzie's in the black and blue, and like it's kind of like a almost like goth style is what I got. I was like, oh, this is like very dramatic, and so I just love to hear kind of like, I mean, you can't probably say a whole lot, but like
I know. I want to talk about it so bad. We might have to come back and do a recap.
Okay.
I don't know what I can say about it, but
sure.
Goth would be right. Is a direction that I'm going to get in trouble. They're not going to have me back for season 4.
Totally fair.
But do you know what is so incredible is that I think the trailer I thought was phenomenal and showed so much of what is going to happen this season. But I've got to tell you, like, there is so much that is still to come that I feel like hasn't even been hinted at online. And I have been delving into the comments, and I don't think anybody really knows what's around the corner, which is kind of wild. No, which is kind of wild, because I feel like there's always like a sense of something happening, but there is a lot. I mean, we're halfway, but there's a lot to go. Yeah, the roller coaster doesn't stop. It kind of, it keeps going. But
that's exciting, but also terrifying.
It's an exciting that look that you're talking about. It's an exciting look, and it's a bit actually pared back for the poster compared to what the look is on screen. So it's probably a bit more of an intense look than even what you saw. But fun and exciting. Yeah.
That's so exciting. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. Well, that's such a good tease. Yeah. We were already on the edge of our seat, but now we're just even more.
There's a lot still to happen.
Well, I think a good way to kind of end this is just to see if there's any like special or fun story that you have from set, anything that like just cracks you up every time you think of it, anything you want to share.
I mean, I think one thing that I always feel like I always want to talk about is just how incredible Amelia the Dowager is. And just honestly, she should do more press, because she is the most incredible woman I feel like I've ever met. And I feel like I say this every time I do an interview, just because she's such an incredible actor, and people love her. Like the cast and the crew love her, and she brings a real energy to the show, and it's really, really beautiful. And she's always kind of doing like fun stuff in the like behind the scenes, and kind of doing crosswords with all the like cast and crew. She's very fun. We had some had some very fun times on set doing that pumpkin smashing scene. Didn't always go to plan. Ended up in the hair quite a lot. It's really nice actually to see the Dowager. I think I mean, we went for that. She had like kind of a way more romantic look than we've ever seen her in the fairy ball. It was even kind of like a little bit, I don't know, dare I say it, like a little bit sexy. Like it was she was kind of showing a lot of skin and a lot of shoulder, and it was definitely a different direction for the Dowager. And then I love her cottage look as well, like with her hair down. It's such a soft side, and we see so many layers of the Dowager this season. I think it's incredible, and I think it's so nice to see a relationship on screen of a slightly more mature love, and I think it's really beautiful. So I hope that the audience are also enjoying kind of the mess of the young love as much as they are enjoying that. So,
Yes, definitely. It's so romantic, and I love the pumpkin smash scene. I kind of want to do that now.
yes, it's fun. I mean, I feel like all of my stories from behind the scenes would probably all be weather related. I think we shoot so many scenes outside externally, which is really hard with period drama because you can't control the hair, the makeup, and I mean you can work your ass off to make sure that it looks as perfect as possible, but the elements are so tricky, and we shoot so many things outside. There's some wind blown. Those cliffs of Tintagel are so windy, I can't even tell you. I have so many shots of the cast just like looking like they've just been dragged through a bush. There was actually one scene with Nan, and she had just come from her argument. I think it was episode 1 before she gets ready for the ball, and she has that kind of showdown with Seaton on the edges of the cliff. And in the script, it was supposed to be a lot longer, and she was actually supposed to run from Seaton and then kind of run down the corridor, and it was supposed to be really, really kind of dramatic entrance into the Dowager. And so we filmed the end part of that first. So I was like, okay, there's a lot of running, it's really windy in the cliffs, like she's going to look a mess by the time that she gets to the Dowager. And so we did that scene first. And she does. She looks like a mess when she greets the Dowager, and kind of says what she says. And actually, they cut out the whole of the running part. So what you get is the conversation with Seaton, and then you get her with the Dowager. And we don't it doesn't really kind of read why she would be so messy when we get there. But that's just storytelling and filming. You kind of just have to roll with the punches. And I remember watching it on screen being like, oh, it's scary. And I'm just hoping that nobody else noticed. But,
it seemed very smooth to me.
Yeah. She looked a bit more wind than she probably should have done for how short that part of the scene was. But there we go. We have to shoot stuff out of order like that all the time. So sometimes you really just have to get creative and just hope it all ends up making sense.
Yeah. It definitely does. We're loving it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Can't say more than like we love it. Like it's just everything. We're so enthralled by it. So and a big part of that is
taking up like 80% of my brain right now is this show. It's just Buccaneers.
It is.
It's such a lovely reaction, and it's been really fun to kind of hear what the fans think, and and their reaction, especially to the fairy ball, kind of means everything, because we work for like weeks and weeks and weeks ahead of something like that, kind of hours sewing tiny little beads into braids, and so when the fans love it, it really does mean everything.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Well, and I think I mean, I feel like that's what we love about, shows like The Buccaneers and Bridgerton and whatever, is that when the people behind the scenes are putting so much time and so much effort, that it rewards us to like look deeper and be like, well, why did that happen? And it's like, oh, well, his hair is a little darker because this character, or like Honoria's hair is different. Mabel doesn't have the bangs as much because of this. Like, that's so rewarding. So like, thank you for putting so much thought and time and effort into the show that we love, because it makes it the show that we love. So yeah,
that's very kind of you to say. Thank you. No, we love what we do, and when people notice the details, it just means everything. To know that you've impacted a character arc or a scene, it really does speak volumes to us that we're on the right path. So yeah.
So there you have it, our interview with Jenny Rhodes McLean. Again, she is so lovely. She was so much fun to talk to. All the Buccaneers tea that she gave us,
piping hot,
was not ready for that level of intensity. But it's just, so far, the Buccaneers season 2 has taken us on a ride. And it seems like it's just going to keep going uphill and roller coaster from here. So next week, we will be diving into the Buccaneers season 2. I'm a little scared of what's to come, but we're gonna do this together. We're gonna dive in together and break it all down next week.